Hey there YouTube fans, AC Productions here. Every time I go out on group rides, just out and about, I always get asked what products I use to keep my bike so shiny and clean. Well, today I'm going to show you those products that I use. It just depending on your project or what it is that you want to get cleaned on your bike. We may use all these products or you may only use some of these products, but I'm going to show you everything that I use to keep my bike looking like new. I'm just showing you the names of the products that I'm using. When you go out to your shop, you could actually look for that particular one to get the job done. And also get these brands. Don't substitute for the cheaper brand. Even though it says that it's the same thing, do not get that because they're not the same thing. You know, like this one, the 3M rubbing compound. Don't get Meguiar's rubbing compound. Don't get some other brand rubbing compound. Get the 3M rubbing compound. Alright, well, let's get started. So I will show you what I have here. I have the Black Magic Bleach White, and that's for cleaning the tires, even though they're not white walls, but this is full concentrate. So I got the Black Magic White Wall Tire Cleaner, and what I'll be using this for, even though I don't have white walls like it shows in the picture, this is a very full concentrated bottle, and if it could get your white walls back to white, I would suggest getting this. Do not get the Black Magic Black Wall Cleaner because that will not do, it's not the same. Get the one that says Bleach White, and don't worry, it's not going to make your black tire white. That's a good cleaner to have. Next in my list here is 3M rubbing compound. This is really good for if you happen to have not a scratch, but say somebody you know, kind of lightly scratched your bike but left the paint of their car or whatever it is on your bike or car. You could use this for car too. This is a very good product to have. It will get rid of that scratch or the mark. Actually, the mark, you'll get rid of the mark off of your car or bike. Another good one to have. Make sure it's by 3M. Do not get Meguiar's or Mother's or Turtle. That's the worst. It has to be 3M. Okay, next in my arsenal is Goo Gone. This is very good for cleaning your wheels on your motorcycle, and especially if you have that, if you had a wheel weight on there but then you remove the wheel weight and you had that little sticky residue, that this will get it off, alongside with some plastic, kind of like a scraper tool. This came in a kit of 5 pieces, I believe, and it has, you know, it's for, you know, other things minus, you know, scraping and prying stuff. So it came in a kit. I'll be using this because it's plastic, so it will not scratch the surface. You don't want to use a razor blade because that'll definitely damage the surface you're working on. These plastic edges are not that extremely sharp or pointy, but close enough. So Goo Gone, very good to have. I'll show you that when we get started on the bike here. Don't go with any other brand but Goo Gone. Next on my list here is the Meguiar's Motorcycle Liquid Wax. I've tried a lot of waxes for my motorcycle, but this one is top notch. This one really gets my bike looking really good. So this is a good one to have. Make sure it says Motorcycle Liquid Wax, because if you use the car ones work alright, but this one for motorcycle, it seems to work a lot better. I think it's formulated for motorcycles. I'm not sure what's in it, but it surpasses the car stuff. Another one I have over here is the Meguiar's Motorcycle Easy Clean. This is a really good thing to have when you're washing your motorcycle. Don't use the car soaps or car wash soaps, and definitely don't use any liquid soap from the house. This works really good. When you spray it out of the container, you'll see it when I show you in the video. It comes out funny, but that's the way it's supposed to come out. So you give your bike a good spray and then rinse it off. Okay, I already showed you these pieces. Next is going to be a tire brush. Just something narrow, it doesn't have to be really wide. This is going to go along with the bleach white that we're going to be using to clean up your tires. Also, this is also a good brand to get for reconditioning and keeping your leather seat or your vinyl seat in good condition. It's also a good brand to get. If you don't have access to a water hose, I'll suggest getting one of these empty style spray bottles. I fill this up with water, so I'm in my storage unit. I don't have access to a water hose, so spray bottle will work good to rinse off your tire after you clean it. Don't forget the most important, out of all the cleaning supplies, you can't do it without having your bag of rags. See, I have a whole big bag right here full of rags, anywhere from just towels to very soft type of cloth and even microfiber. So just make sure you have your towels handy so you could get the job done. Alright, so those are the products that we're going to be using for this cleaning video. Alright, so also besides these products, you're also going to need a motorcycle stand. So here's my buddy's bike. He brought me his nice and dirty bike, which I kind of needed for this video. We'll get into details in a minute here, but if you do happen to have a rear motorcycle stand, and also if you have a front motorcycle stand, that'd be great to prop up your bike on the motorcycle stands. This will make your job a lot easier when it comes down to cleaning the wheels. Also note, when you are cleaning your wheels, you may want to set your bike into neutral. That way it'll be easier to spin the back wheel, because if you have your bike in gear, you won't be able to spin it. If you have it in gear, it's just going to stop in one spot. You're not going to be able to move it. But having it in neutral, you're able to spin the wheel more freely and get around the whole wheel. It's also great to have that when you're working on your chain and doing some maintenance on your chain. It's good to have a bike stand. If you don't have a bike stand, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. This just means a little bit more work for you. You would just have to move your bike forward a little bit every time you want to get to cleaning that spot. All right, so let's get started. Okay, we're going to start off with the back. As you can see, this is the most dirtiest. So as you can see, his back wheel is really dirty actually. See how dirty? You can see how dirty it is. I spin the wheel, really dusty, and then as I was telling you before, he did look like he had some kind of wheel weight here, but it's gone now. So we will be removing that with the Goo Gone stuff. His tires look very dirty, as you can see all around, very dirty. Getting to the swing arm, more dirt and a lot of road debris. Looks like he has some kind of scuff marks here. We'll be getting that off with the 3M rubbing compound. Some right there. I think those are probably deep scratches right over here. Rubbing compound may not get that off. If you do happen to have deep scratches, the rubbing compound will not work and it will not take it off. The only thing that will get rid of that will be a new paint job. As you can see up here, it looks like a scratch, a deep one. Rubbing compound will not get that off. The only way to get that taken care of will be a brand new paint job, which we will not be doing in this video. Alright, moving on to the rest of the bike here. It's not as dirty up here it is on the bike. He does seem to wipe it down with a towel once in a while, so it's not too bad, but we are still going to clean it up and polish it up for him. Getting down to the bottom here. Not too bad. A little dusty and dirty here at the bottom. And then getting to the front wheel. As you can see here on the front wheel, just as dirty as the back, but not as dirty. You can see his tire is pretty dirty too. And for those who like chicken strips, check those out. He has plenty of chicken strips on his tires. As you can see, pretty much all the way to the edge right there. Forgot to show the undertail. Then also in the front plastic, it looks like he has some kind of scuff mark here. We're going to use the rubbing compound to get rid of that. From far away, it's not noticeable, as you could see. So you could see it, but not too much unless we really point it out to you. Every little bit counts, especially when it's your bike. You notice everything, down to the smallest scratches. Other people may not notice, but you will. And then also here in the front, really capture it on the camera, but looks like there's some light blemishes there. We will try to take care of that with the 3M rubbing compound. Okay, so there's my buddy's bike in a nutshell. Alright, now let's get started. When cleaning your bike, you want to go from top to bottom. You don't want to go from bottom to top, because as soon as you start cleaning the bottom and you get to the top, all the dirt and grime from the top is going to go right to the spot where you just cleaned. So top to bottom. Okay, so first we're going to get started with the blemish marks. You want to make sure you get all the blemish marks off if you have any on your bike before you start actually cleaning it with the soap and water. Alright, so we're going to first get our rubbing compound, and we're also going to get a microfiber towel. So we're going to get our rubbing compound from 3M. Just want to give it a good shakedown, and then we're going to get a microfiber towel. For this part of the video, I am going to do an unedited video for you so you could see that the rubbing compound does actually work on getting rid of your scuff marks. So I apologize in the beginning. I apologize again if you're going to see a very long video. Well, maybe not that long. Let's see how deep these scuff marks are. The deeper they are, the longer it takes to take off. The lighter they are, it comes off pretty easy. Okay, so what you want to do is get your towel, get your rubbing compound. You don't, depending on the size of the scuff mark, in this case it's a small little spot. Just get a corner of your towel and then just put a little bit of rubbing compound on it. It doesn't have to be a lot. Say, since this spot's very small, we're going to go with that little bit. Alright, now let's get over to the scuffed area. As you can see, whoever scuffed his bike was in a red automobile or something, or a red something. Whatever it was red. I'm only going to pause it so I could refocus it. Okay, now that it's refocused, now we're going to go ahead and rub that scuff mark off. See, here it is. Okay, so you just want to kind of dab the area. And as you're dabbing it, you're going to start feeling a little bit of resistance. Once you feel that resistance, that's when you want to put pressure on taking the mark off. The more pressure you put on there, the easier it's going to come off. Once you see it come off, as you can see, it's gone. Get a clean part of your towel and then just wipe off the residue left from the rubbing compound. There you go. As you can see, the rubbing compound did its job and took the mark right off. Alright, so now we're gonna check out this part over here. It looks to me that it is a scuff mark. I'm not 100%, but let's put some rubbing compound there and see if it comes off. I am not pausing the video or doing any editing right now. As you can see, I'm still talking. If I was doing any editing, you would not hear me talk. Alright, so a little bit more rubbing compound. Well, let's just dab the area. I feel a little bit of resistance, so I'm just gonna rub away at it. If you put the rubbing compound on there, on the spot that you're trying to clear up and it's not coming off, no matter how hard you're pressing on it, most likely it's a deep scratch and the rubbing compound will not take it off. So it looks to me that this is a scratch. Well, part of it was a scratch, the other part was a scuff mark. It did take away the scuff mark, but the scratch is still there. On the camera, doesn't look like it's, well, the camera you could see it a little bit. It's right there. But he'll be pleased to know that his marks that he had on his bike that he thought that he couldn't take off is gone. Now it looks like I could see some other marks over here. Alright, that looks to be another scuff mark there. Let's get our rubbing compound and see if we could get that off. Again, I'm not too sure if that is a scratch or a scuff mark, but I am going to do my best to get rid of it. Alright, so let's put a little bit on there and then see if it comes off. It looks to me that it is coming off. Yep, it did come off, so that was a scuff mark. Alright, get the clean part of the towel and just wipe off the residue. Okay, so as you can see, we got rid of some areas that had scuff marks on them. So now his bike, or this section of the bike, looks to be scuff mark free now, minus the little scratch that's right over here in this area and up here. Now you can see that this whole piece right here is clean. Alright, now let's get to another section of the bike where there is more scuff marks. Okay, and now we're going to work on this scuff mark that we saw earlier in the front by the windscreen and his mirror. Kind of hard to see in the camera, but I'm also going to try my best to get rid of that scuff mark. What you want to do is get your rubbing compound and just get a little bit. You don't need that much unless it's a real big mark. Mainly those big marks are on the cars. Alright, so just get a little bit, and what you want to do is just rub it into the mark, and then as soon as you start feeling that little resistance, that's when you want to start working in the rubbing compound to get out the scuff mark. Once you see that you got the scuff mark off, you could just go ahead and get the clean side of the towel and just wipe off the rubbing compound's residue. Alright, so it looks like that the mark actually came off, and I'm just getting rid of all the rubbing compound's residue from the cream. Alright, so no more mark. Now when my buddy gets his bike back, he's going to think I did some kind of miracle to his bike to get rid of all the marks that he had on his bike. So as you can see, there is no more mark. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There is nothing there. The mark is completely gone. Okay, now let's get to that mark that we saw on the front wheel fairing. Again, I'm not 100% if that is a scuff mark or if it's a scratch, but we're going to use rubbing compound and see if it comes off. Okay, I'm just going to pause it right now and refocus the camera to that spot. After further looking into it, and then when I'm putting my finger on it, it's actually a scratch, if you could hear it. That's actually a really deep scratch, so the rubbing compound will not get rid of that. But as far as these all small other marks, I just wiped it, looked like it was just dirt. Alright, so there's nothing left for me to do here. Now let's get to the other parts of the other products of our cleaning. But if you do happen to have a scuff mark on your wheel fairing here, what you want to do is to get it, and you don't want to put as much force as you could. If you want to put more force on cleaning the stubborn scuff mark off, since this doesn't have that much support on it to do it, is you get your rubbing compound, put it on the rag, but hold on to the fairing. Either put your hand underneath it on the wheel and hold it from the bottom. That way you could put more pressure on it, and it's not gonna create any tension onto the plastic fairing. Because if you do it without it, as you can see, it moves quite easily and it can break. It is plastic. So to give it that support, put your hand underneath and push upward, and then start putting pressure on the area that you want to get rid of the scuff mark. So that would also help you on not cracking the plastic. Okay, after you're done getting rid of all your scuff marks, if you had any, next will be to get our Meguiar's Easy Clean. And what you want to do is just spray it. Don't spray the whole bike all at once, just do section by section. I'm going to do sections by section just because I'm in my storage unit. If you're outside, just go ahead and spray down the bike. That way you just get the grime going down on the floor. So when you spray it, you're going to see it's going to come out kind of funny. That's okay, because that's how it's supposed to come out. So just give it a good spray down and let all the grime just come down from the bike. If you have access to a water hose, all you have to do is just spray it on and then just rinse it off with the water hose. I don't have a water hose, but I do have my water spray bottle. So we're just going to let that soak for a second here, and not for too long. Now I'm just going to get my water sprayer, and now I'm just going to spray off all the soap. Like I said, if you are outside, all you have to do is just hose it down with the water hose. And as you can see, all the grime and dirt, I know it's kind of hard to see it on the camera, but it's all kind of coming down. Once you get it all rinsed off, just get your towel and dry off your bike. If you're doing your bike in a storage unit, just do a section at a time. There's no rush. But if you're outside, just spray down the whole bike and then spray it off with the water hose, and then get a nice clean drying towel and dry off your bike. So that's all it is to it for the wash. Alright, so now let's get to other sections of the bike. Okay, when getting to this section of the bike, if you don't want to get any of your components here wet, just get a towel or get a few towels and just cover it up. So while you're spraying it down, you're not going to get any of these components wet. Okay, now we're going to spray this area, especially down there. It was really dirty. So we just want to give it a good spray. Get all the plastic and everything. And like I said, if you didn't want any of your components up here to get wet, you could just cover it up with some towels, and that will not get wet so much. Let that soak a little bit. Okay, now that a few minutes have passed, now I'm just going to get my water spray and then just spray off all the soap. Okay, I will spare you all my spraying, and we're just going to fast forward it to the next section. But you pretty much get the idea on how it works with the Meguiar's Easy Clean. Spray it on, rinse it off. If you're outside, spray it on and hose it off. Here at the back, just want to get your Easy Clean and then just spray it all in there. Just careful when you're by the chain. If you do happen to get any water on the chain, just get a towel and wipe it off. Okay, ready to let it soak. I'm just going to get a towel and just wipe it off because I am by the chain. I don't want to get water on the chain, so I'm just going to wipe it off. See, you could hear all the grime just coming right off of this thing. Alright, so next let's get started on the wheels. Wow, what a difference already. And as you could see from my towel I just wiped it from, see all this dirt that was actually on his back tire hugger. Alright, so now let's get down to the wheels. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do for the wheel is we're going to clean the tire off before we actually get to the wheel itself. So we're going to get our white wall cleaner, and what you want to do is just give an even spray on the tire. So as you spin the tire, just give it a little bit of a spray and make sure you get it all around. On the camera I'm sure it's really hard to see, but as you're spraying you could actually see all the dirt and grime that got stuck on your tire is actually just coming down. And depending on how dirty your tire is, you may want to repeat this process maybe one more time. We're just going to let that soak in there for a minute. Okay, once it's done dripping with all the dirt, I did put a piece of paper at the bottom of the tire to see if it could capture any of that dirt, and it did capture a little bit of the dirt, actually a lot of the dirt. I don't know if you could see that. That's pretty much everything that had just dripped from the tire, and we haven't even started cleaning the tire yet. That just shows on how much dirt actually gets attracted to your tires. Alright, since I am inside, you don't want to let this stuff dry on your tire because you do want to scrub it down. So we're just going to give it another little soaking with just some water. Okay, next what you want to do is grab your brush and then just start brushing away at the tire. Make sure you put a little bit of pressure as you're doing it, because you want to make sure you get all that dirt and grime off of your tire. Like I said, it depends on how dirty your tires are. You may want to do this, repeat the process of cleaning the tires one more time. So I'm already done scraping the tire. Now I'm going to rinse off the dirt. And just rinse off the tire. Okay, once you're done rinsing the tire, you could just let it air dry, or if you could also just get a towel and dry it off. I'm just going to get a towel just to speed up the process and let it dry. And then next we're going to get to cleaning the wheels. Okay, now before we get to cleaning the wheels, we're going to get rid of the sticky residue that was left behind by one of those wheel weights. So to get rid of that, we are going to need to use Glue Gun. It's going to actually get rid of that sticky residue. So with the Glue Gun, you're also going to need to get your plastic scraper so you could just scrape away. Just letting you know, when you have stuff like that, if you don't take care of it right away, it gets a little bit harder to remove it. So it is a little bit tedious, but if you don't like that ugly look on your wheel, you're going to have to just kind of work at it. And then you also want a clean paper towel. So what you want to do right now is just grab up your paper towel, and we are going to soak it a little bit with the Glue Gun. And when I mean soak it, I don't mean pour the whole bottle onto it. So you're going to grab your paper towel, and you're just going to, that came out a lot, but you're just going to dab a little bit on your paper towel, and then you're just going to pat it down on the wheel. Just kind of work the Glue Gun in there. If you want to leave the paper towel on it and just press on it, you can do that too. But pretty much you just want that Glue Gun liquid to get into the sticky material. Just gonna work it up a little bit in there. Get it worked up in there. You want to get your plastic little scraper here and then start peeling the sticky material off. Soak it up a little bit more. Okay. Then grab your scraper here and then just scraping away at the sticky material. Like I said, it is a tedious job, but if you don't want that sticky material on your wheel, you may want to try to do it as soon as possible before it gets really hard and taking it off. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure on how long he had the sticky material on it because I can already feel how really on there it is. It may not come off, but I'm going to try my best to make sure it comes off. Okay, as you can see, it is coming off, but very slowly. Not gonna lie, it is a pain in my butt to get this stuff off because, like I said, I don't know how long he had that actually on there, or if when he bought this bike, because he did buy it used, if it was already like that. But I found out that you're gonna have to keep re-soaking your paper towel with the Glue Gun and keep dabbing it with that oil on there so it could loosen up the stickiness. But as I'm doing it, I am wiping it, and it does help wiping it too, along with your scraping tool to get rid of it. So you can see that. But it is, like I said, it is a tedious job. But if you want your wheels to look nice without that sticky residue, this would be a good way to do it. So another update on how it's going. Pretty much at this point, you may want to get a radio and just play your favorite music because it's going to take a while. Like I said, if you start doing if you start cleaning the residue off of those sticky weights right away, it won't take as long. But in this case, it's taking me a long time to get the residue off because it looks like it's been on there for a long time. So if you have the same issue and it's been on there for a long time, whip out those tunes because you're gonna be here for a while.
1 hour later.
Okay, it's been 1 hour, and after struggling with it and getting it, trying to get it off, it is finally off. As you can see, it's not even on there anymore. Did find another spot with it, another piece on there, and I also worked on that. Now we're back to the dirty side. So like I said, the faster you get to taking that stuff off right after you take out the wheel weight, the better. It won't be as difficult to get it off. The longer you wait to get that stuff off, the more it's going to stick onto your wheel and be harder to take off. Alright, so now let's get into cleaning the wheels. Okay, next, to clean your wheels and get them back to a showroom finish, we're going to be using Glue Gun. Not only is it good to take out sticky residue, it's also good to really get your wheels very clean. I don't like to use those wheel cleaners. After you use that product, they may look alright, but there's actually still more dirt on your wheel. And with Glue Gun, it actually gets down to the bare, that's not going to take the coating off your wheel, but it'll get down to the finish of where the paint is, and you're going to see how clean it really gets. So just want to get your clean paper towel, and depending also on how dirty your wheels are, you're going to have to repeat this process probably more than once. So what you just want to do is just dab your paper towel with the Glue Gun, and as you can see, my buddy's wheel here is very dirty. Just by the look of it, you could see it. So you want to soak down your paper and then just press on it and then rotate your wheel. and just keep doing this. And you could actually feel, as you're doing, you could feel the resistance of the dirt on the paper towel. Alright, let's see. Look how disgusting that is. All that dirt on his wheel. As you can see, it is shiny right now, but we're not done yet. So flip over your paper to the clean side of your towel. Get some more Goo Gone, soak your paper, and repeat the process. Keep repeating the process until you get no dirt on your paper towel. Also, while you're doing the wheel, make sure you get the side lip over here. So let's do that. Alright, right back where we started. Look at that, all that dirt still on the wheel. While you're doing this project, make sure you get the side of the wheel. Even get over here as you are turning your wheel. Let's get another view here. And just make sure you wipe it. And try to get as much as you can in there in cleaning it. See, look at all that dirt off the edge, because that's what I was using. So you're going to have to repeat this process at least more than one time to really get all the true dirt off of there. And then once you're done, I'll show you what to do next. Just make sure you get all that part there. Okay, so now the proof is on the paper towel. Clean paper towel, let's give it a good wipe down and see if all the dirt has finally come off. Yep, there you go. All clean. No more dirt on the towel. Okay, as you can see, on the right side is the clean side and the left side is the dirty side. So you can see the difference already. And also works very well on other parts of your bike too. For instance, on your tire hugger, if you wanted to give it a really good deep clean, you could just go ahead and just wipe it and just give it a nice light clean with it. You see, pretty dirty. Here's a clean side. Let's give it another wipe down and just kind of get rid of all that debris and road dirt that was left over from the street here, and just kind of get it off of there. Because if you're like me, you like to have a very clean and tidy bike. And if you're not like me and don't really care, then you wouldn't be watching this video. Alright, so get a nice good clean. Get rid of that shine. Unless you like the shine, then you would use an Armor All product to give it some shine, but I don't recommend using an Armor All product on plastic. Even though it looks nice and pretty with the shine, when you ride it does attract a lot of dirt, and you don't want that. So just want to make sure you give it a nice clean. I did fold the paper a few times, but as you can see, there's a lot of dirt off of it. That's all from, well, not on this side, a little bit there, but this, I'll put my finger on it, and we'll just give it one last wipe down here. Not that much dirt left. So the Goo Gone is a very good product to use on almost everything on your bike. So if you find anything that needs a little bit more detailing and cleaning, you can use the Goo Gone to make sure it gets very clean. Here is an overall look of the clean wheel with the clean tire. As you can see, what a difference it is compared to when we first started, and how dirty that wheel was, how dirty the tire was. Now look at it. It's pretty much almost looks like brand new. Okay, once you get to the front of the bike and for cleaning the wheel, when you get to the tire, it's pretty much the same. Get your white wall cleaner and then just go ahead and just spray the tire. Grab your brush and then just start scrubbing away at the tire. Get your water hose and then just hose down the tire. Okay, now let's get started on cleaning the wheel. So just as we were cleaning the back wheel, we're going to do the same thing with the front wheel. Alright, so just like the rear, you're just going to get your paper towel and you're going to soak the towel with the Goo Gone. You're just going to go and you're just going to rotate the wheel as you wipe the wheel down. And you're going to keep doing this until you don't get any more dirt showing up on your wheel. And if you want, you could also use the Goo Gone to clean out where the brake rotors are at. So as you can see, it's cleaning it, but also get all that grime. Just be careful not to get it onto the rotor itself. So just go lightly and start cleaning over here too. And be careful also, you don't want the wheel to spin while you're doing this, because you may pinch your finger here and it won't be a good day. Just hold on to your wheel while you do this process. That way you don't accidentally pinch yourself unless you do it by accident. Okay, now for our final, almost final part of our cleaning arsenal is now you want to start waxing your bike. So this is where you want to get the Meguiar's motorcycle liquid wax. Give it a good shake, then get your clean microfiber cloth. And you don't want to put too much of the wax. So just a little bit on there, and you're going to be doing a section at a time. Just get a good amount on there and then just start applying it onto the bike. So if you want, you could do an up and down motion, circular motion, it really doesn't matter as long as you apply it on there. Like I said, just do a section at a time. Once you're done with that section, just let it haze. Just let it dry until it comes to a light haze. Once you see that, you want to get your clean part of your microfiber towel and then just wipe off the haze. And it gets hazy pretty quick. All you have to do is just wipe it off. And then you're going to start seeing more of the shine come through and the brightness of the color of your bike. If you have a red bike like this one, you're going to see the colors start to pop as soon as you start wiping up the haze off of the plastics. And then just keep repeating the process for the whole entire part of the bike. Now when you get to this section part of the bike, you want to give a little support to the plastic here. So again, we're going to put a little bit of our wax. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit. And then what you want to do now is just hold on to the plastic. Either put your hand underneath and push up on it to give it some support, or just hold on to it as you apply the wax. That way you don't put any stress on the plastic and maybe happen to break it. So you're just gonna put it on there and then just let it haze. Once it haze over, then you just get the cleaner part of your towel and then just wipe it off. And then you're done with this part, and then you just move on to the next part. So as you're going around, you just want to make sure you're doing a section at a time throughout the whole process of the bike. You don't want to go and wax the whole entire bike. I would suggest just doing a section at a time. It makes it easier and a lot quicker. Same thing, just a little bit. If you're doing a big area, if you're doing a big area like the tank, you want to make sure you put not a humongous amount, but a good enough on your microfiber towel, and then just go ahead and start doing your tank or whichever large area that you're doing. And if need be, if you need to put a little bit more as you're doing it, just go ahead and reapply it on your towel. Apply it until you see the light white haze. Once you see the light haze on there, then you just grab the clean part of your microfiber towel and then wipe the haze off. And like I said, that this product actually does a very good job of bringing that very good shine to your bike. A mirror-like finish. Okay, now we're down to our last part of our process of cleaning our bike. It would be time to use our leather and vinyl conditioner made by Lexol. So what you want to do for this part, just make sure you want to do is spray your microfiber towel. So we'll give it a little bit of a spray. Just want to wipe down your seat. As you can see, it's already restoring and also giving kind of that new car smell for your bike. So we'll call it the new bike smell. Well, you want to just give it a nice wipe down, and now it's cleaning and conditioning the leather or vinyl, and just kind of keeping the seat from cracking. Because if you park your bike outside and the sun's beating down on it, if you don't take care of the seat's material, after a while it's going to start to crack because of the heat of the sun. So you just want to make sure you get it all in there and penetrate it. Once you're done there, now you want to go to your passenger side of the seat. Just want to get your microfiber cloth and then just give it a little bit of a spray with your conditioner here. And you could already see the difference, not just because it's wet, but you'll also feel the difference when you sit on it, on how better it is. So you just want to give it a good wipe down, make sure you get in there. Lift up the strap if you have to. Make sure you get all parts of the seat. And if you're storing your bike for the winter, either two things you could do on preventing the seat from cracking. One is take your seats off. Just undo the bolts, and on this one just put the key in and take it out. Same with your main seat, and put it in the house. Put it in a plastic bag, tie it up, and put it in the house. If that's not an option for you, just make sure you put some of this conditioner on there and cover up your bike. If you park your bike outside and the cover, if you don't have a cover, I would suggest you getting one. But if a cover is not an option for you, just as long as you keep the seat conditioned every so often, you should be able to prolong the life of your seats. Okay, once you get it all worked in there, you are all set. Now your bike is completely done and ready to go for a ride. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave any comments below.